Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equities Story. And the good news is you can't see me today because something's gone wrong with my camera. So,
has it got something wrong in the bathroom?
well, I don't know. I think basically, you know what they did? They thought these videos will look a lot better if you just see the wolf and you don't see the hound. So
Right.
anyway, wolf, we can see you much better today. You're much bigger actually. See a nice, yeah, it's good. And this is just general share advice and not personal advice. So let's get going on this, Wolf.
And
now,
not a bad lead out from America, which is nice. So let's hope we can make some money on the last couple of days. Show me some stocks, please, Dave.
Well, I'm all confused because it feels like the weekend, and it doesn't feel like
Monday today, right?
Yeah, it's like who does this? These holidays and these awkward moments of time. Anyway, let's talk about some stocks that put it. The other day we had the SNL. You know, lightly traded, Wolf.
Yes.
But a cracker of a chart, and it's been a cracker of a chart for the last 2 years. So you look at a stories like this, and you want to get some. What's you know? Do you like this? Do you still like the story long term?
Oh yeah, I mean.
So do you just try and nibble a little bit of away as it goes and see if you can just accumulate or?
Yeah, you do. You've got to be patient with a illiquid stock, right? Where you can't just buy it all at once because you're going to probably drive the price by $2. So you just want to have your limit, whatever you want to buy it for, and sit there for the next week or so. And you'll probably accumulate like we have in the fund, right? We've got some in the fund. We're happy with Wednesday's update. So what they've come up with is a continuation of what they've been actually delivering so far. So under promise, over deliver, slight beat on guidance. So they basically said guidance was going to be between 116 to 118 million in revenues. And they're going to come in with 119. So you can see above the guidance they gave, about $1 million. And with the actual profits, their guidance was between 12 and 12.5 million bucks, and they're going to come in with 12.7, so slightly above that. That's all you need, Dave, for a chart like this. That's all you need. Slight beats. Thank you very much, and you've got a great story. And I'm happy still with where they're going, how they're performing, and the management has been spot on.
All right, so nibble away, nibble away.
Yep.
Now WR1. I mean, you know, what a great chart it had. We talked about it. Had the breakup. It's a buy. Quite a few people in this, Wolf.
Yes.
Now you can just lift your stop loss, and if you're going to lift your stop loss on a crazy story like this, you might look at a 5-minute, or you might even look at even a 60-minute. But a crazy story like this, you'd maybe have your stop loss below that 2020 at 219. Or however, you know, do you just say thank the Lord, you've got a winner and you're up 60-70% and just take a profit and come back and live another day?
I think maybe the best option here would be to hedge your bets, sell half, keep the other half, because I mean what you saw on Wednesday in the afternoon, they've come up with extension of the previous drilling results. So in other words, the possible pegmatite occurrences are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Which means possibly a bigger resource to come. And they've had some, they had some preliminary essays come back and saying 52 meters from 118, 50 meters from 162, and 50 meters from 30. So nice stick. We don't know what the actual lithium grades are yet, but you can see this is growing and growing. So you want to have hedge your bets a bit. They might come up with some really good, strong lithium percentages, and possibly this is going to get bigger and better. And there's a lot of FOMO in there, so you just want to ride it as long as you can.
So what you would maybe take a few chips off the table, but you'd be holding some.
Yeah. I think that's probably the for me the most common sense approach, right? Take some chips off the table, but just keep some more in reserve.
All right, DRE. Keeps coming up with really good hits, Wolf, and keeps delivering. But the share price is still sideways, saying that's enough. We ain't gonna go any higher. What? Do you think it can go higher?
Again, it's got potential. I mean, again, another story like your WR1, it's expanding its footprint. with more drilling. So this rare earth project is getting bigger and bigger. And now I think they're talking about that mineralized RE ironstones increased by 13 kilometers to 43 kilometers. that's big, Dave. It's only just, can they make it all work together? And look,
Okay,
anyway.
all right, forget the charts. Close your eyes for a sec. Right, read the story. Are you buying this from a fundamental view?
Only if I'm, I've got a penchant for playing these sort of stories, right? I like to, I'm a fundamentalist. I like my financials and stuff. So if it doesn't have financials, this is only just for play for me most of the time. And is it one of the better play stocks on ASX? I think so. So if I had, if I'm looking at a punt in the resource space where I think they can deliver something substantial, then possibly yes, as long as the charts are okay.
So you play, in a way, you just play a bit by the charts.
Yeah, I would. And like I said, it's one of the better RE replays. And if you think that RE is going to have a big year this year, and a lot of people think so do we. Yeah, I'd say probably be top of my list to be looking at nibbling at.
All right, interesting one, Wolfie. ResMed had a good move last week, and I think you liked the announcement today.
Yes.
It's got a lot of resistance at that 35, which is really struggling. So I'm not keen to trade this at the moment. However, have I got it wrong, Wolf? Are these, or is the fundamentals just really catching up to the valuation?
Oh, look, I think the fundamentals have to catch up to the valuation, because valuation is like up there.
Yeah.
They need to keep coming up with this sort of quarterlies, and the quarterly was very good. And I think the cat got out of the bag last week with that big green candle. But this is a very good quarter for them. So they have some really good strong quarters, and then maybe have a weak one where the price comes back a bit. But generally speaking, overall, the 12-month period, they're still a very good performer, Dave. So for me, if I'm a long-term believer in this space, ResMed's and FPH of the world, then I've got no problems with ResMed at all. I think it's a really good, strong story. The only thing, obviously, I don't like possibly is the PE.
CIA back up all-time highs. The question is this resistance, or can it break through? We'll know in about 3 or 4 hours. What did you make of the announcement, Wolf?
Mixed for me. So basically, the iron ore price they got was higher than previous. What was the negative was the cost going up significantly. Other positive out of this, I'm going to be jumping between positive and negatives. So another positive was that the stage 2 is now, I think, going commercial. So, there's definitely positive things you want to hold on to here, but it's still very much driven by the iron ore prices here, because remember, it's not a cheap producer. So you've got to keep an eye on that. But look, generally speaking, I think fundamentally you'd think, okay, it's still certainly a hold for me on what I'm seeing from the iron ore market, what I'm seeing, what the numbers they're producing at, and of course that expansion. So I'm liking this still. However, as a trader, I'll leave these technicals for you.
All right. Well, we'll see where it is. That's not going to go on as a trade at the moment. It's possibly, technically it's looking like a take profits, but we'll see where it is on Einstein's. But if I was in that right now, I'd be taking a profit. TYR. Another takeover offer around that 160. Chart's looking good. What do you reckon, Wolf?
Yeah, look, I think there's a decent chance that maybe Potentia will come back with some sort of a bid. They open up the books to them. So Potentia has been tire kicking for, I think they've been trying to take over NTO. Now they're looking at TYR, right? So they are looking at those little tech stocks. And they've offered 160 as a preliminary type offer, where they're going to get access to the books. And Tyra says, okay, well, you've got 4 weeks and see what you can come up with. So we'll see the space. Like I said, it's not my favorite tech story, but I can see there's definitely some merit because the numbers have been improving for Tyro. So, can they just don't worry about the actual takeover offer. Can they just on fundamentally, maybe can they get back to that 160, 170, 180? Yeah, potentially. I think if their numbers keep improving, well, I don't see why not.
Okay. ORG. Obviously in sort of acquisition talks.
Yeah.
A good, a solid announcement. It's going to help everything, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, upgrades. That almost gives them like a trump cards, a joker saying, look, acquirers, we're getting better and better. Give us more money. So let's see what happens. Look, it's again, is it my favorite story? No. But it's in a throes of a takeover, so probably not for me.
Obviously we've got some iron ore which is holding up, but GRR doesn't look too bad. Had a good chart last week and actually edging up. I think the ones that's going to affect us, FMG had a good announcement.
Yep.
It's up 2.5%. It's been as high as 23.5. We've got a little trade on this to 24. Was that announcement good enough? Do you think that we're going to get hit that 24, Wolfie?
Just on an announcement itself, yes. But of course, iron ore is always the overriding factor. As long as iron ore probably holds up, maybe pushes a little bit higher, then you're probably going to get 24 out of it.
Yeah, well done, Wolf. Always giving yourself an out like any good
You
good analyst.
Can't take any blame. Deflect.
Deflect, yeah, deflect, Dave. Deflect to Dave. Okay. And M7T. So come on, that was a good announcement.
It was a good announcement.
Can this go on with it?
Normal world, yes. And what we need. Okay, so again, I'm going to deflect here. I'll give you some rundown. I think we need to see that recovery on the tech space to continue, right? So we need that little bit of momentum, that little bit of wind behind the sails to keep going. But I think there is that. So I'm positive on this, and I'm liking it. So I'm hoping this is going to keep going to that 80-90 cents. So I look from fundamentally what I saw today. I'm fairly happy with what they presented to me. And they've, I think, already 70% through. So you don't need a super strong second half for them to achieve their own guidance, right? This is the nice thing about it. They don't have to desperately throw pretty much the kitchen sink at anything. They can just comfortably possibly make it without too drastic moves.
Because we're trading this one at the moment, Wolf. And we're targeting around that 90-95. So at the moment, still happy to hold.
Yeah, it's still absolutely happy to hold. It's still a super high risk, but it's getting better. It's the concerns for me are easing, so that's good.
All right, good to see yourself giving yourself another out there at the end. Absolutely love it, Wolf. All right. Listen, on that note, Wolf, I'd like to thank you. There's nothing that's really stand out except hold that FMG is looking good. Hold that M7T again, looking reasonably good, and maybe we're going to put that nibble SNL.
Yeah, look. What would you do with this? I mean, where would you put it? I mean, lovely. I'll pick it up at that green line, 1167. But I think $12 would be probably roughly, not a bad starting point to put it on.
Yeah,
so
definitely, if you could. And it's interesting. On Wednesday, you and Claude are getting excited about nibbling at XRO, even though it's not trading.
Well, I'm not sure Claude was getting excited, but I was because it was my thought of the week, right? And I'm liking XRO as tailwinds behind the tech space. And look, I acknowledge that on Wednesday I'm going a little bit early, of course, but sometimes you gotta just go with fundamentals. Remember, Wednesday is all about fundamentals. And
really, Wolf, it's a long-term idea, right? And you're going to use that stop loss at 63.
Okay. Can I please explain myself?
Yeah,
While yes, a long-term idea, it's actually short, right? Because I'm going on the tailwinds. Maybe we're going to have a bit of a pickup on this theme. So it's a both. It's like, okay, let's call it both. Short term, I think we could maybe have a little bit of a rush, right, to that $80.
Yeah.
But long term, yes, absolutely. I see that this is going to be a recovery story for the long term for sure. So yeah, when I was speaking on Wednesday, it was maybe a little bit unclear. I think it's both, but I'm talking maybe short term. Yes, I can see a possibility for the short term traders out there on the back of just what we're seeing in the US on the tech space. Nasdaq is actually recovering quite nicely, although you talked this morning that it is coming up to resistance.
All right, you sound very confused. This is what happens one day away from me, and you start bloody putting stocks below trend on as trending stories.
I know.
Hold on.
Hey.
There's no hope for you analysts at all. But okay, let's go with it, and hopefully it does better than CDA.
Thanks. Oh my God, yes.
On that note, Wolfie, thank you very much.
Friday,
champion.
hang on, because you think it's Monday, right? So Friday,
Is it
ask the
Friday?
analyst, please join us.
Is it Friday? It's Friday in an hour and a half. So go and have your cup of tea. Put your Armani top on because it's Ask the Analyst. Take off your target top and let's get going.
All right. Well, I'll see you in an hour and a half then.
All right. See you, Wolfie. See you, right. Bye.
Bye.